Dad looked really sick, Grandma.
I know. But there's nothing we can do about it tonight. In the morning, they'll take more tests, x-rays. I'm sure they won't find anything serious.
But what if they do?
Well, the doctors will get him well. He's at a good hospital, and you know with your mother working there, he's going to get the best care there is.
Grandma, I want you to promise me to tell me the truth about everything, no matter how bad it may be. I'm old enough. I can take it.
I promise. And you know, Jamal, I'm proud of the way you've handled things. I'm going to have to start treating you like the mature young man you are.
Thanks, Grandma.
And Raynard Wilcox pretended to be a Ritter brush man?
Yes, and that's how he got into other people's houses. And when they left the room, he would steal any valuable silver that they had on hand.
This is a pretty far-fetched tale, Catherine.
Father, you gotta believe me, and you must call the police.
And where did you get all this information?
I was reading about neighborhood robberies in the Police Gazette, and
What,
then...
the Police Gazette? You read that?
Well, I was in the library, but... You know the Police Gazette Lucy found in the basement? That was mine, not Frank's.
What?
I've been reading them since long before he came to live with us.
Oh, Catherine.
Look, I'm sorry, Father, but I'm crazy about crime stories and mysteries. But we can't talk about this right now. Come on, you've gotta call the police.
Oh, I don't know, Catherine. This all
Please.
seems to be...
No, please, Father, please, please, please.
All right.
Thank you.
Go and get Frank.
What?
Let's go and wake him up. He should be here when the police arrive.
Frank? Frank?
Don't shout, for goodness sake. Go and get him.
Frank?
Quit your belly aching. I'm here.
Frank, you're back!
Children, please.
Lucy got me at the railroad station.
She had one of your father's letters that we used to figure out where you might be.
I thought she was up to one of her dirty tricks again, until she showed me the casebook and told me that ghostwriter wanted her to help us.
I'm so glad you're back. Oh, and Ghostwriter and his friends, they sent us back the information that we needed. And Father's on the phone telling the police right now. I hope they'll help us.
If they don't, I'm really sunk this time.
I'll get it. Hey, guys.
Hi, Jamal. Hey, what's up?
Man, I thought you were my dad at the door. You coming home? Yep. My mom called and said that he just got better all of a sudden. They took an x-ray this morning, and the shadow on his heart just disappeared, just like it was never there in the first place. I think there's something wrong with the x-ray machine.
What a relief.
That's great, Jamal. Thanks, man. So, what about Ghostwriter?
We haven't heard from him.
It was real hard for him to take a message to Frank and Catherine the last time.
We're not even sure if he made it back to 1928.
Have you ever heard of Frank Flynn? No.
Dr. Frank Flynn?
Yeah, how do you know?
Oh, I will never forget him. He saved Jamal's father's life a long, long time ago.
What?
When your father was born, he had a tiny hole in his heart. And by the time he was 4 years old, he was so sick, we were afraid we were going to lose him. And no doctor would operate on him because he was so little. Your grandfather and I worried ourselves so. We thought our son was going to die. But Dr. Frank Flynn was the head of surgery at Brooklyn Children's Hospital, and he'd been experimenting with these new surgery techniques. He convinced us to let him operate, and everything worked out well. If it weren't for Dr. Flynn, Reggie wouldn't be alive today. Why were you kids asking about him?
Well, we just were talking about...
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I've got to go start preparing for Reggie's welcome home celebration. Why don't you kids stick around and help decorate the house?
We'll be glad to help.
Yeah, I'm going to bake the biggest cake you have ever seen.
Man, this is too weird.
Yeah, but now we know what Ghostwriter meant when he said helping Frank would save the team. If Frank didn't become a doctor, your father would have died when he was 4 years old, and you wouldn't have been born.
And we would have never met Ghostwriter.
Which means no team.
Right.
I don't get it. As usual.
What about Ghostwriter? He saved the team, and now we have to rescue him.
How do we start?
Grandma Cece said Dr. Flynn worked at the Brooklyn Children's Hospital, right?
Yeah.
If we can find him, he might be able to tell us what happened to Ghostwriter and help us get him back.
Good idea, Gab. Let's go.
If we're lucky, he might be able to bring Ghostwriter and Frank back to the party with us.
Dad, you look great.
And I feel great. I'm telling you, it was like all of a sudden I got better. Like I was never sick at all. I hope you all didn't worry too much.
Oh, I wasn't worried at all. I knew everything would work out fine.
Oh, Grandma, you knew you were worried too.
You probably started writing my obituary, right?
Obituary.
Oh, yeah, that's a notice that people place in the newspaper when somebody dies. It tells about their life and the family members they left behind.
Don't you think you should go upstairs and lie down?
No, I'm telling you, I feel great. And I am hungry enough to eat that whole cake you're baking in there.
Who told you I was baking that cake?
My nose. Yep. There is a caramel cake in that kitchen with my name on it.
Now, you wait a minute. We can't cut that cake until Doris gets home. Now, you better wait a minute now.
Hey, guys, my dad's back and he's feeling great.
Great.
That's great, Jamal.
Did you find Frank?
No.
What's the matter?
Frank died May 1st of last year.
He died?
But it's like we just wrote to him. Like he was just a kid like us.
In 1928, he was a kid like us.
Yeah.
Man, I really wanted to meet him, to thank him.
We all did.
Ghostwriter! How are we gonna find Ghostwriter now?
Well, maybe Frank got married and he told his family about Ghostwriter. If we get in touch with them, then maybe they'll help us find him.
How are we going to find his family now?
We can read his obituary in the newspaper. Jamal's dad just told us family members are mentioned in the obituaries.
Here it is. A copy of Dr. Frank Flynn's obituary from the New York Times.
Thanks.
What does it say?
Dr. Frank Flynn, former head of surgery at Brooklyn Children's Hospital, died on Sunday at Memorial Hospital in Brooklyn. He was 76. Born in Cork, Ireland, and raised in New York, Dr. Flynn dedicated his career to helping those who could not afford medical care, and was one of the pioneers of heart surgery for children.
That's how he saved Jamal's father.
Does it say anything about his family?
He is survived by his wife, Catherine Connellan Flynn, an author.
Frank and Catherine got married?
It looks that way.
Cool.